Hey there, everybody. Mark Kep with CampgroundViews.com. Today I got a message from actually a pretty big industry partner who had an event where multiple bicycles and electric bikes were stolen from that event. The bikes were secured, some of them were left out on site, and the question came in is how should people secure their bikes while RVing or camping? And so I went on YouTube here, and I'm actually going to hit play real fast in this video. This is a video from Seattle, May 24th, and this is showing thieves stealing a catalytic converter. And I'm going to stop a few times because I think this is an important video just to explain why bicycles are being stolen at the rate that they are and how easily they're being stolen. And it's because of a few things. So we'll hit play and see how this goes. So these guys are stealing a catalytic converter. And first off, I'm actually going to pause real fast, and I want to point out something. You notice in his right hand there's the big thing that's allowing these thefts to take place at the rate that they're taking place is the easy access and easy availability of battery-powered reciprocating saws and grinders. So you can go down to any local hardware store or Harbor Freight, pick one of these up, or maybe these guys rip these off too, who knows. But you can easily get a hold of this equipment that is very powerful with the ability of a powered plugged-in unit to cut and slice. And so this guy has actually got a handheld saw, and you'll notice that there's a team of them. So he actually chalked the wheels, the guy in the back there. So they're cautious about their theft, which is cool. So now this guy running up here in the middle, you'll notice what he has in his hand. He has a cordless grinder in his hand. So that's a metal cutoff wheel, basically. So it has a metal cutoff wheel that allows him to cut right through the pipe. So they're jacking up the vehicle. One guy's got a saw, one guy's got a cordless grinder. They are now going to go underneath that vehicle, and the one gentleman there is already starting the process to rip that off. So here this guy goes. He's going to go under. He's going to quickly cut through that pipe. He's through one side. The other guy's starting on the other side. And it's gone. Now, this is a catalytic converter, so you can imagine they're stealing something that they have to cut through a pipe that's 2.5 inches in diameter on two sides, cut it off, and drop that unit down in order to take it out of the vehicle. Your bicycle is a cable or a chain that they're going to cut through. Very easy to steal. There it is. The catalytic converter is now gone. So, point being is that the cordless tools are what are empowering thieves to steal bikes. And so I've got an image here of a bunch of different setups for bike mounts on RVs. And so the question that was posed to me was, what's the best way for our members to transport bikes? And so, the honest to goodness answer is hidden. In fact, bike racks, if you have storage space inside your RV or in a pass-through storage or somewhere within that, it's a closed cabinet that people cannot see it, that's the best way to transport bikes. Out of sight, out of mind. If it's not hanging out on a bike rack, a thief of opportunity is not going to see it, not going to approach it, and not going to take it. Now, as some of you know, RV storage lockers are not, usually the cabinet doors are not really good at locking. So when we transported our bikes, in fact, I carried a tandem mountain bike in our last fifth wheel, and that had its own storage space. I actually used the pass-through storage for it, slid it in there, and I had a cable lock in there that was locked to the frame, so it went around the frame, so the bike was locked in there, and then both drawers or cabinet doors shut, and those also had the cheapie lock. So it was very easy to break, but again, out of sight, out of mind. That was a $10,000 bike that we were traveling with and never had any issues with any sort of theft of our equipment when we're out there. I've got some examples of bike mounts for different RVs, and you can see a lot of them are placed. These are up in the front, but most RV bike racks are usually out and back behind you. And when you're traveling, this is a perfect example here. You got a nice mountain bike. You got two nice mountain bikes on the back of a rack. A lot of thefts actually occur during transit. So when people are traveling to and from wherever they're going, they may pull into a Walmart or a stop somewhere, I know people who pulled into casinos and went in to get a bite to eat and come out and the bikes are gone. The bikes are visible, right? It's an easy up and grab thing. And in situations like this, usually the equipment's not even locked on, so people can easily grab it. So what I would advise you is if you have equipment like this where your bikes are out on a rack, you want to have multiple locks on it. It's a pain to get them off because you have to undo all the locks, but trust me, that pain's well worth it. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that your bike route, and this is actually a good example here, let me blow this up real fast. You'll notice this is using the clamp-on type. You can put a hitch receiver that clamps onto the rear bumper. Our last unit, we actually did the same thing. So it's actually clamped on there. That's your first weak spot, or it's not the most obvious spot for somebody to go steal. That's a little bit more difficult, but those U-bolts are easily cut or even just easily ratcheted off and taken off. And then they take not only the bikes, but they can take your rack too, drop it in the bed of a truck, they're gone. So you would want to have somewhere on this rack a mounting spot where you could put a chain, not a cable, a chain through that, and then wrap that chain around the bumper too. So now you've got a locking spot. The other thing you'd want to do is the pin that goes through, you would want to have a lock on that pin. Let me see if I got one here. No, I don't have one. But a pin, so where that rack slides into the hitch, replace the regular pin with a locking pin. So you'd have now two locks, a chain and also a pin lock through it. Then the next thing is your bikes themselves. The worst locks you can have are cables. As you saw in that video I played, people are carrying around these cordless saws and cordless die grinders. They can easily cut through cable. Cable is super simple to get through. It's a little bit more difficult to go through chains. It is way more difficult to go through both of them while you're worried about getting spotted. So ideally, you have two locks on your bike rack. You also have two locks around your bicycles. We were traveling in California with a similar style mounting like this, except our racks were the over-the-top bar, so grabbing onto the top bar. And I was traveling with a classic BMX bike. Let me see if I can find an example of one here. I was traveling with a classic BMX bike. It's similar to this setup here. And the rack I had actually had a secondary bar. So you would mount the bike on the top tube, and then there's a secondary bar that went over the top of the top tube, and it had a padlock on it. So that was my second lock. I had a padlock, and then I had a cable through it. Where we were staying in an RV park, next morning went out to get the bike off the rack, and I unlocked the cable, and the cable fell to the ground. And I was like, what the heck? Somebody had actually cut through the cable to try to steal the bike, but when they saw the padlock, they couldn't get that off. They didn't want to even bother trying to cut it, and they left and went and stole somebody else's bike. Point being, that secondary lock was very important. So again, you don't want to use cable. I would recommend using chain. There are chains out there that you can buy. Let's see if we can get a few of them. There's different, so cable locks, don't do those. Cable or chains are generally better. There's also some other newer style, like heavy steel equipment that you can use too. Basically, your locking mechanism, it's not so much just the material. Obviously, cables are not the best way you'd want to do chains, but also the way in which you secure it on your bike. So the worst thing to do with a cable is to just wrap a big loop through over your top tube through the triangle and then lock it, because now you've got a lot of area there where somebody can get a tool, get some leverage, and get that off. Ideally, you want to make that as tight as possible. So really kind of wrap it in a way that they can't get leverage. They can't really move the cable. They have to, really work on it to try to get it off. That's going to prevent people. And the real goal here with locking up your equipment is they're walking up to steal your equipment. They only want to identify thefts that are super quick, like that video of 90 seconds, gone in 90 seconds, right? They want something that they can jack up the car, cut off the catalytic converters. In the case of your bike, they want a bike that they can walk up, cut, take, and go. The problem with bicycles is the escape vehicle is what they're stealing. So they're able to undo it, grab it, hop on it, and go. So the other thing some folks will go is they'll actually sabotage the bike. So they'll set it up so that it won't operate without them. And there's ways to do that, and it depends on the type of bike. You can actually sabotage the bike so that if somebody were to pull it off a rack, hop on it, and try to go, it'll either the wheel will fall off, or they won't be able to actually transport the bike. So that's how you want to lock it on a bike rack. The next thing, and I pulled this up, is there's equipment like this. This is a folding bike bike lock, and you'll notice that it's these levers. These are okay. Again, there's a potential for them to get some leverage in between it, and you don't generally want that. Cables can be, not cables, chains can be the best ways to do it. Here's, you can go online and do a bunch of research. What you're looking for is equipment that is very, very difficult to get a hold of. So this right here is a good example. This photo is of a heavy duty chain that's covered in material so it doesn't scratch your bike's paint, and then a heavy lock. So, and you'll notice how tight it is around the frame. It's very difficult to get a tool in there. So that's going to be a good preventative way to lock your bikes up. What's happening, and the reason why thefts have started to pick up is obviously there's macro factors on it, but the other thing is a lot of folks are now traveling around with electric bikes, and electric bikes, range in price from, you usually start out about $1,000 and go north from there. The thing about electric bikes is, especially if they're a normal style bike, is they tend to be big and bulky. They're a little bit hard to stick in a storage compartment. The other thing is they got a battery on them, they got a motor on them. They're very resellable on Craigslist and whatnot. So they're a high priority target. The cool thing about electric bike too is if the battery's on that bike, when you take it off the rack, you've got something that you can pull a trigger and be going 16 miles an hour, and it doesn't matter if you're out of shape. So electric bikes are a key target. So what we travel with when we're traveling with electric bikes are actually foldable electric bikes that we can fold up. The one we have right now is similar. It's not this one, but it's similar to this design right here, where it folds up so tight you can fit it in the trunk of a Jetta. A very, very compact bike. Fun to ride around. It's got a battery in it, good range and all that type of stuff, but a very good option if you're RVing or camping. So in a nutshell, what's happened with thefts of bicycles in particular is that thieves now have handheld tools that allow them to quickly cut locks, cut cables, and take those bikes. A lot of the bike racks don't really offer good opportunities to lock your equipment. The default locks are just not what you need. So you need to do secondary options, meaning locking the bike rack twice and locking the bikes twice. So going extra care with that, not using cables, using chains. And then also the way you route those chains around your bike, doing a good job of making sure that somebody can't really get a lot of leverage on it. And then last but not least is the best way to secure your bike is to have it out of sight, out of mind. So you either want a foldable bike or you want a storage bay that you can fit your bikes in and easily secure them. So I hope these tips are helpful for you if you're traveling with bikes in your RV. Last thing you want to do is ruin your trip by losing a bike. So be safe, have fun, and safe travels.